Good morning and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today in the yard we've got a 2012 VAUXHALL Insignia in for some rear brakes. Apparently it's got a bit of grinding going on. It's not the best cared for car in the world. Looks like we have a bit of a flat tyre there. On the other side. Not the cleanest. But when I drove it in, it does grind really badly. So yeah, I think the inside pad must have gone because that disc looks okay. Right, let's get the wheel off and see what we got. Okay, so we've got the wheel off and we've got lots of silver flecks. And looking in there, I don't know whether you can see. Might have to wait till I take the let's get some lighting on. There we go, we've added some light. You can see that inside pad there, that's your piston, that's your pad, and it's right up against the disc. So we'll get these bolts out. We get the top bolt out here, it's about 12-13 mil, and that one out the bottom, and then we'll get this caliper off. Noting that the handbrake lever is fully returned against the stop and nice and free, so we haven't got to worry about anything to do with the handbrake lever. So let's get this caliper off. So these are 30 mil bolts. That's the bottom one. That's the same top one. And what I will say is don't forget your floor mat, because it does save your knees. When you get to my age, you need to have saved your knees. Right, so let's pull this caliper off. I'm going to need 2 hands for this, so just bear with me. Right, so that was a bit tight. I had to leave it off with a couple of screwdrivers. But the piston is undamaged, so we'll just lay that up there for a minute. And the pads, you can see, that one is fairly low, this one is non-existent. So let's get them out and have a look at the disc. A slight change of plan. We're not going to take the pads out of the carrier. Can you see that? What I'm going to do, on the back of the carrier there are 2 15 mil bolts. Where are we? One down there, one at the top, and we're just going to take the whole carrier off. That way it'll be easier to clean for the pads. Okay, so then we've got the caliper loose. These are actually 15 mil bolts, not 16s. The bottom one comes out nice and easy. The top one, it's a job to get the socket on it straight because it comes out against this bolt on the rear suspension, so the socket has to go a little bit skew with, but luckily these weren't too tight. So we'll get this glass bolt out and we can take the whole carrier off. And you can see that pad in there. Now let's have a look at the back of the caliper. Let's get some light under here. Yeah, it's a little bit scored. Ideally it wants changing, but they're on a bit of a budget as always, so we'll advise the customer they need these changed as soon as possible. Right, now we're back in the workshop. This is very hot today. This is the inside pad, as you can see. Scrubbing the metal off nicely there. The outside pad down to probably about 1 mil. Right, let's get on with taking these bits of hardware out and cleaning up this caliper bracket. These sliders are nice and free, so we haven't got to do too much with those. So let's just get these cleaned up. Right, so this is the first side cleaned up. Clean up initially with the wire wheel to get all the dust and most of the crap off. Then, as we know, the wire wheel doesn't remove rust, it just polishes it. So if we then go over it with a file just to square off all the edges and get rid of all the lumps and crusty bits of rust, so that's all nice and clean. We've also cleaned our hardware. It's a shame you don't get new hardware, but you work with what you got. We're then going to put a little bit of grease on the caliper bracket just to prevent corrosion, to prevent rust jacking. And then we're going to clip our hardware back on. Like so. Now, because these are stainless steel, you don't need to grease these, because if you grease it, obviously they're not going to rust. If you grease it, they will just clog up with dirt and grime over the time. So it's better to leave these dry. Right, that's that one done. Let's turn it around and we'll get the second one done. Right, so we've got all the old hardware cleaned up and reinstalled. But surprise, surprise, when I open the pads, we've got new hardware with the new pads. Right, so let's get that changed over. Right, change of plan B. Fitting this new hardware, it does not fit. It fits, but the profile is slightly different along this top edge where it sits over this lip. And no matter how much you press these down, you can't get these pads in without it being a very tight fit. So I put the old hardware back in, and the pads are now nice and loose in the calipers as they should be. So let's get the caliper bolts cleaned up and get the caliper put back on the car. Right, so every bolt I take off, normally caliper bolts or backing plate bolts, anything like that, wheel studs, wheel nuts, I like to put them on the whizzy wheel, give them a clean up, so someone can obviously see you being there, and it tidies things up. So that one on the left is after, and the one on the right is as it came off the car. So the easiest way to get to these bolts on the back of the caliper bracket is with a flexi head ratchet. You do this one-handed, then finish off with a breaker bar, but access is a bit restricted, so you might have to flick the socket around a couple of times to get a good purchase. Right, so this is the offside one. I didn't film the near side one because it was totally seized. It took ages to get the piston wound back in. The problem I had was, to start with, where this piston had come so far out, it was up to about here, I couldn't get my tool in to start winding it back, and it was really tight. It took me about half hour more to wind the piston back, so hopefully this one will go a bit quicker. So I've just squirted a bit of WD-40 under the seal to enable it to slide around when the piston turns. Now let's see whether we can wind this one back. Right, we are winding back okay. It is a bit tight, but it is going. Now, the thickness of the pads on the disc as well is that far. It's about 48mm. So using the calipers, we can see that that's where the end of the piston is there. So we've got about another 5mm to go. Right, now, so you can see we've wound it in just a little bit further than the depth that we need. So we should be able to take this off. And that should now push on, adjust the back, sits on there, back on the caliper. Now let's find the other two bolts that we need and bolt that on. Right, so off camera I did put some grease on the back of the caliper arms on the face of the piston. Clean the hub up, put some aluminium anti-seize grease on. Again, this linkage is free, so we've got nothing to do with that. All we've got to do is put the wheel back on. And don't forget, before you start, is to take the fluid cap off, so you can allow fluid to come back to the master cylinder, and then you can monitor it to make sure it doesn't overflow. And at the end, put it back on. Right, so thanks for watching, guys. That was a bit of a pain, that near side rear one. That's why it jumped to the offside, because it took me a good probably half an hour more to physically get that piston to wind back in. It was really tight all the way. And then I had visitors, and then we had dogs outside, and it was just a pain in the ass to film. So that's why it jumped to the offside. The offside was still tight to wind back, but it did wind back a lot easier. So I hope this helped somebody, or helped somebody even. So thanks for watching, and let me just show you this before we go. These were the two pads for the offside, near side rear. That's the one that was metal to metal, and that one was down to about 1 mil, if that. On the offside, the pads weren't that bad, about half worn. So I don't know if they've had a sticky caliper at some point, but everything was free when I took it off today. And that's the part number for it, FPB P452. And as I say, it does come with new hardware, but I put the new hardware on, and this part here, I'll get it to stand up somewhere. Anyway, this part here where it goes over the bridge doesn't fit properly, so this is all too high, and it's bending it like at a funny angle, and you can't get the pads in. Well, you can, but they're really tight, which is no good. So I ended up using all the old hardware. So anyway, I'll keep these for spares. What's that? 23mm, that was the wheel nut size. Okay guys, well again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.